Hey, all you Golden Eagles, you're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Joe Mary talking about how his night marshal father handles drunk crowds. And Ish Redkia Puckroll talks about the McNair Scholars Program. And don't touch that dial because we have Casey Malekos to share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. In USM campus news, Myers makes history as first Southern Miss Rise Scholar to join sorority chapter. Veronica Myers is enjoying college life here at the University of Southern Mississippi. The Rise to the Top student, Rise standing for reaching, including, supporting, and educating, has just become one of the newest members of Southern Miss's Phi Epsilon chapter of Delta 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 sorority. Veronica Myers had this to say about joining the sorority. Quote, "The girls in Delta 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 are nice, funny, and there are many who I already know. The recruitment process was exhausting, but fun. I now have even more friends since I became involved with the chapter." End quote. Rise Executive Coordinator Danielle Mullins had this to say about Veronica joining the sorority. Quote, "Rise to the Top is all about creating opportunities for students to become fully immersed and included in every aspect of student life as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle. Watching Veronica go through the recruitment process, receiving a bid, and running home to try Delta has filled me with great pride, as this is a historic moment, not only for Rise, but also for the university." End quote. Southern Miss to host inaugural esports day camps. That's right. The University of Southern Mississippi's Union Department will host its first ever esports day camps from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on October 7th and October 9th in the R.C. Cook University Union on the Hattiesburg campus. This camp is focused for students aged 11 to 14 or in grades 5th through 8th, as it's introducing participants to the excitement of competitive gaming. Trace Ruttman, esports program director, had this to say about the event. Quote, "We're so excited to launch these camps and continue building connections all across our community. We are so privileged to have such an incredible space for our collegiate teams, and we can't wait to share it with our campers. We've designed a program that will give campers an experience that they've never had before. Using our gaming computers, playing under the lights, and being on stage is something that they will never forget." End quote. In Hattiesburg news, Hattiesburg Bicycle Shop offering overdose countermeasure for free on Thursday. Moore's Bicycle Shop, a Hattiesburg bicycle shop, is offering the opioid overdose drug naloxone from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Thursday during a free event titled Save a Life Day. Along with receiving the drug, an education on administering it will be provided as well. There will also be individuals to provide resources for folks interested in treatment and recovery options. The bicycle shop is located at 1607 Hardy Street, Hattiesburg. If you're interested in more information, call 601-544-1978. Mississippi Bar suspends attorney Corey Ferreras for practicing law. The Mississippi Bar has officially suspended Hattiesburg-based attorney Cody Ferreres from practicing law in the state of Mississippi. Ferreres is accused of receiving settlement funds on behalf of a client, failing to safekeep those funds, and failing to deliver those funds to the client. Ferreres is now not allowed to practice law, holding himself out as a lawyer, rendering legal advice, as well as not having any active clients, parties opposite, or courts and agencies which he has active matters. In Mississippi news, Terror on the Coast returns for 11th fright-filled season in Gulfport. Terror on the Coast is coming back to open their doors for this spooky season on Friday. It will be housed inside a large warehouse on Giles Road in Gulfport, where you will see scary props, live actors, and spooky decorations. Co-owner Kevin Mitchell has this to say about the event, quote, "There's a lot to see in the building. We're a movie prop company, so everything's been in a movie, was built for a movie, or rented to a movie. We just reposition it in a way that our customers can enjoy it," end quote. Also in Mississippi news, Colin Kaepernick to pay for independent autopsy of college student found hanging on Mississippi campus. Former NFL player Colin Kaepernick will fund an independent autopsy for college student Trey Reed, a black student who was found hanging from a tree on the university campus. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump has this to say about Trey's death and new independent autopsy, quote, "Trey's death evoked the collective memory of a community that has suffered a historic wound over many, many years and many, many deaths. Peace will come only by getting to the truth. We thank Colin Kaepernick for supporting this grieving family and the cause of justice and truth," end quote. In national news, Jimmy Kimmel's show returning on Tuesday, ABC announces. Jimmy Kimmel is coming back to his late-night show on ABC today. He was temporarily removed for nearly a week after criticism of Jimmy Kimmel's remarks on the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Disney, which owns ABC, provided this statement yesterday, quote, "Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming an intense situation at the emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return to the show on Tuesday," end quote. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Southern Miss falls at Louisiana Tech 30-20 Saturday night. Southern Miss tried to bring a spirited comeback attempt in the fourth quarter, but fell short in a 30-20 loss to Louisiana Tech on Saturday night at Joe Elliott Stadium. Our Golden Eagles had their 2-game-winning streak cut short, while the Bulldogs are improving to 3-1. Next time, Eagles. Volleyball finishes undefeated in Golden Eagle Classic. Southern Miss brought home the gold with an 8-3 with 2 3-set sweeps against Northwestern State and Jackson State Saturday in the Wellness Center. Let's go, Eagles. Golden Eagles earned key wins across singles and doubles in Youngsville. Our Southern Miss Golden Eagles men's tennis wrapped up with a win across singles and doubles in Youngsville. They fought hard on several fields that included Louisiana, Tulane, and Tyler Junior College. Let's go, Eagles. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. It looks like we might get a random shower during the midday with highs in the low 90s and with the lows in the low 70s. Our humidity is at 53% with our winds at 3 miles per hour. We've got a potential tropical storm with Hurricane Gabrielle currently in the waters surrounding Bermuda and is a Category 4 storm. Up next, we have Joe Mary talking about how his night marshal father handles drunk crowds. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Joe Maury's father was the night marshal in Macon back when the city had a thriving saloon district. He describes how his father dealt with the rowdy over-the-river crowd when they had too much to drink.
My daddy came back to Macon when he was 20 years old, and he was appointed night marshal. At that time, it was saloons on the south side of Macon. And some of these rambunctious young'uns, would come to town and get drunk. And they was trying to be like the Wild West. And they'd come into town shooting up saloons and everything, shooting windows out and all of that. Well, that was what he was appointed for, what at that time they called the over-river crowd. And it didn't make any difference who you were. If you was drunk, you was going to jail. Well, he had a rule that he would walk the streets of Macon at night, walk down the street. Anybody that was staggering or anything like that, he'd tell them, well, you've had enough. Go home. If you don't, I'm going to have to put you in jail. So I'm going to walk on down the other end of the street and see when I get back. If you haven't gone home, I'm going to put you in jail, which he did.
To learn more, subscribe to the Mississippi Moments podcast or visit cohch.org. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was our Mississippi Moments. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from Furniture Direct, with locations in Hattiesburg, Laurel, and Columbia. Are you looking for a deal? Lots of styles on a good value? You can find them on Facebook at Furniture Direct Hattiesburg for the latest specials and promotions. Or you can shop anytime at FurnitureDirectNow.com. You can see why Furniture Direct is your furniture destination.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Casey Malekos. Hey, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming on. So first and foremost, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Casey. I'm a person in long-term recovery, part of the Hattiesburg recovery community.
Right.
Also work in addiction treatment, helping addicts and alcoholics get to treatment and recovery ultimately.
Right. That's so amazing to be able to provide these foundation steps to be able to make sure, because recovery is a hard process.
It is. A lot of the problem comes in because when we're in that crisis mode, we don't know that recovery is possible. The kind of freedom that I have today, I could not see it. So it really is helpful to be that person that can reach back and say, I've been there and I have seen the doubt, but I know that there's a way out. Let me show you.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this main event being Save a Life Day, what exactly is it?
So Save a Life Day is a day that is nationally recognized, nationally focused on distributing free doses of naloxone, which is a life-saving medicine used to reverse an opioid overdose. So we strive to hand it out to citizens. We want to educate people on it. We want as many people to be able to use this medicine as possible.
Right. And when was this event started, and who started it, and why did they decide to?
So this event was started in 2020 by SOAR, West Virginia.
Right.
They started with just 2 counties. And today in 2025, we now have events in all 50 states.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So how did you get involved with this year's event?
So as a person in long-term recovery and someone that works in the addiction treatment space, I had a good friend of mine reach out to me and just ask if I would like to be involved in bringing this for the first time to Forest County. I
Yeah.
reached out to Mr. James Moore of Moore's Bicycle Shop
Right.
because immediately knew that we'd be able to do this. So.
Right. So when is this year's Save a Life Day?
So this year's Save a Life Day is going to be at Moore's Bicycle Shop,
Right.
right there at 1607 Hardy Street. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on September 25th.
Right. Okay. So who all is invited to participate? Is it just mainly for people recovering from addictions, or is it for anyone that might be involved?
No. This is helpful for those who are still actively using opiates.
Yeah.
We want you to know how to use this medicine. We want you to have this medicine just in case you are in an overdose crisis or a friend is. We want concerned family members and also just regular citizens who are interested in learning more about it and equipping themselves to be part of the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I said it earlier, but like being able to be those like the barrier between like having like a potential relapse or having a situation where like you feel that hopelessness and you feel like that cornered feeling, and it's so amazing what you guys are being able to present and what you're able to provide, because especially like in the South, it can be hard. And it can be hard having like a close-knit community that will actually like support you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely amazing what you're doing.
Thank you. There is just so much stigma, so much shame
Yeah.
around addiction, and my ultimate hope is for everyone who's struggling to have the kind of freedom that I've experienced. Like
Yeah.
recovery is the goal. That's what we want for our friends. That's what we want for our family. But we got to be breathing to get there,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So in your opinion, and we kind of covered this a little bit, but just to flesh it out a little bit, why do you believe that harm reduction events like Save a Life Day are important to have?
Right. So my best example is just to draw from personal experience.
Yeah.
So I've only received Narcan myself one time for an overdose,
Yeah.
and that was January 23rd, 2021.
Yeah.
And I have been sober since January 25th, 2021.
Right.
So I would not be able to be here. I would not be able to be helpful to or useful to anyone. I wouldn't have had a chance to recover if it
Yeah.
was not for naloxone.
Right. Well, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's such a huge milestone. How do these events like these affect the stigma around recovery?
So events like these, like we said, it's always been the dirty little secret, but
Yeah.
we pretty much all of us know a family member, know a neighbor, or know a friend who is struggling with this. So, the stigma disappears when those of us that have recovered
Yeah.
kind of do it out loud.
Yeah.
We share our experience, strength, and hope with those that are still suffering.
Yeah.
These conversations and having events like this promote love and grace instead of judgment and punishment.
Yeah.
We do this because every single life matters, and we just want everyone to be safe.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure many of our listeners have heard of the concept of like heal loudly.
Right.
And it's like anytime when it comes to whether it's mental disorders or if it has anything to do with addiction or anything that they're struggling through, it's recommended because so many things are done in silence, as you said, that like if you don't heal loudly, then how will people know that you've been like hurting, that you've been suffering?
There is just the kind of depth and weight that
Yeah.
comes with I've been there,
Yeah.
and like what you say resonates with me because I've been there, but let
Yeah.
me tell you, I know from experience it gets better.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you know if our area has any harm reduction or aid programs that listeners should know about?
So for the past 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
Moore's Bicycle Shop has been distributing no-cost naloxone
Wow.
to the community, and actually there have been several anecdotal instances
Yeah.
where people have come back to Mr. Moore and said, my friend was revived
Yeah.
with the dose that I got from here. So that is still available. We are actually in the process of getting a a Narcan dispense box to where you could go in and you can just get it, no questions asked.
Yeah.
There's no one there, and it's going to be free and open to the public. So we're working on that too for Hattiesburg.
Right. So it'd be like a completely anonymous thing where
Completely
like
anonymous in a public space for anyone that might be too embarrassed. There's, like I said, there's a lot of shame, a lot of stigma around it. But you could go to one of these stations. It's climate controlled. You can get the naloxone and have it handy.
Nice. So how can participants continue to support others after Save a Life Day?
So we can continue to support all of those who suffer by carrying naloxone, sharing overdose prevention skills, volunteering with your local organizations, and just continuing the conversations around this. Like, let's make it common. Let's take the stigma out of it. Let's build a recovery-friendly community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so powerful. And we've kind of covered this, but what can the community do to support continued harm reduction efforts?
Just being knowledgeable about naloxone, carrying it on your person, that's a great way to start.
Yeah. And does like naloxone have like an expiration date once it comes out of the refrigeration or wherever
It does
it's been
have an
held?
expiration date, and it is on each box. So Mississippi Harm Reduction is actually in Jackson.
Yeah.
They provide naloxone, HIV testing, and other support services. I'd like to give their number to anyone that needs it. It's 769-234-5830. Resources like them and other nonprofit organizations are going to make sure that we always keep it stocked with, in-date, non-expired medications.
Absolutely. And I know that this might be potentially triggering for some individuals. I don't think so, but just in case, trigger warning. But what would you say to yourself before, after that you've made all this growth regarding your addiction? What would you say to like encourage yourself back then?
Maybe that just because you can't see the hope doesn't mean that the hope's not there.
Yeah.
Keep trying. I have a lot of friends that have tried this recovery thing over and over again, and they say, I just can't lick it. Just can't do it.
Yeah.
This disease affects people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
In my work, I meet constantly all day long with people that are struggling with this, and it runs all races. It runs all economic statuses. But there is hope. I've seen every single kind recover.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I know that we're running out of time, but is there anything else that you want to share about Save a Life Day or just in general?
So last year, overdose deaths dropped 27%, and the access to naloxone was a big, major factor in that. So I cannot overstate the importance of this life-saving medicine. It's literally the reason that I'm here today.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Casey Malekos, for coming on today and for providing a voice for our Eagles. Coming up, we have, Nishrenika Pockrell talking about the McNair Scholars Program. Check it out.
For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishrenika. Do you like research? Do you want to pursue a PhD? Are you a first-generation college student? If this sounds like you may be eligible to apply for McNair Scholars Program. The McNair Scholars Program is a federal trio program funded at 151 institutions across the United States and Puerto Rico by the U.S. Department of Education. The program was designed to help first-generation college students from low-income backgrounds interested in pursuing a PhD. The goal of the program is to increase the number of graduate degrees for students from underrepresented communities. Getting into the program comes with a $2,800 stipend, free GRE prep, graduate school application fee waivers, and much more. Dr. Zari Minette, the director of McNair Scholars Program at Southern Miss, explains the eligibility criteria for the program.
So there are certain eligibility criteria that students have to meet. First, they have to be either a first-generation student and income eligible, or they can be from a group that has limited representation in graduate school. They have to have at least 60 credit hours at the end of the spring semester in the year that they apply. They also have to be a U.S. citizen or be working towards citizenship, and they need to be working on their first bachelor's degree.
Lila Pittman, a McNair Scholar recipient, shares her experience with the program.
It's my first time researching, so it's more of it's a lot of things that's new to me, like a lot that's new, but it's something about researching something that you're really passionate about that I love. Like, yes, it was kind of difficult because I had my own trials and tribulations, but I loved it.
Anybody who is eligible for the program is encouraged to apply. The application remains open until October 26th. For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishranika.
Thanks for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to Cardell Whiting, our audio engineer, and Daniel Page, our video engineer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Roselle Monte, and our program director, Adeline Fields, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. Don't forget to follow SM2 Media on social media. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. Stay golden, Eagles.